So let's try another example. It's the exact same thing we just did in example 2. The only difference is your input value has changed and your function rule has changed. You still got to remember your PEMDAS because that's the only way you're going to get the right answer. So I've already set up the first input value. When x is equal to 0, what we're going to be doing is simply multiplying by -3, and then your product, you subtract 11. So -3 times 0 is just 0. 0 minus -11 is just, well, 0 minus 11 is just -11. There's your first output value. X equals 2. Let's do it again. You've got a negative number here and a negative number here. Even though you see it as subtraction, technically it's still a negative number. Let's make sure that you don't make any careless mistakes with our negative numbers. So I have y equals -3 times my 2 minus 11. Well, hopefully you remember from like the 6th grade, negative times a positive always gives you a negative. So that's -6 minus 11. Again, I hope you remember from the 6th grade, whenever you have two negatives, you add them, okay? You're not multiplying because you don't have any parentheses or anything like that going on. So I have a -6, I have a -11. My output is -17, okay? You do not have any calculators going on this quarter, so I know that negative numbers and fractions are going to be your weakness. You're just going to have to get over that and do your best and let those weaknesses become strengths because negative numbers and fractions aren't going anywhere. Next input value, x equals 3. All right, y equals -3 times my +3 minus 11. Negative times a positive, -9 minus 11. We're going to add these two numbers, you get -20. Okay? Keep going. If you know what you're doing, keep going, and you don't have to wait for me. I'm just going to go through some more. Got two more input values. X equals 6. -3 times 6 minus 11. -18 minus 11. -29. Please don't forget to, -29. Don't forget to box your answers. That's important because I'm not going to search all over the world for your answers. Last input value is when x equals 7. Y equals, let's see, can you see it? Absolutely. -3, +7, minus 11. -3 times 7, -21, minus 11. Your output is -32. So there you have it. You will see this on your homework. You will see it on your mastery check. It is plug and chugs. What's going to mess people up is the actual operation. So make sure you know how to square numbers, how to multiply, how to handle your negatives, and then everything else is going to be kind of easy. Now, the next section here, and I'm going to talk a little bit about it, and we probably have one more video to wrap this up, is when you work backwards, okay? If you look at example 4, they don't give you the function rule. They give you a set of data in a table, but your answer has to be in a function rule. So in other words, you're going to be looking at the relationship between the x and the y, and you're going to be asking yourself, what's happening to the x that gives me my y, okay? So whatever's happening is your function rule. So we're going to be looking at patterns, and it's got to be a function, which means that what happens to the first x to give you your y has to be the same thing for all the x's in your table. So in the next video, I'm going to kind of go through this, and we'll probably wrap it up.